expand its balance sheet by 0.2% to a record 8.81 trillion euros in the past week.
Hello, 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 hello. Hi all and welcome. My name is Phil and I'll be your presenter today. Test, test, test. Okay, sorry, I've just realized my camera is not on. That should be rectified now. So let me see. Yeah, that's it. Hi all. Hi, sorry, I had a small delay in starting today. As always, something just comes up with a recording software. It just needed to refresh a bit, but we are up and running now. So a busy day from the economic data point of view. Loads of stuff happening, loads of stuff moving the markets. US markets are quite volatile as well. So let me just check this is all streaming okay. Hi Rose, Goldmaster, Hamid, Eladio, Jonas, Israel, Said, Haifa, Mike W, Suta. I can see quite a few people logged in today. We have a few people watching as well. Data point of view, loads. Here we go. I'm going to say hi all. Welcome. Okay, brilliant. Ant, Nest King, Robbie, Stephen, Fryer, Kay, anybody else who is watching us. Welcome. Okay, cool. So let's start this properly. If you haven't seen this before, my name is Phil. I'll be your presenter today. If you're looking for the community, check out TraderCast.com. If you're looking for the education, My Trading Skills is a good place to start. MyTradingSkills.com. Over the past 10 years, I had the privilege of speaking in front of various different industry events, and I managed to speak to teach many people how to trade. Some of them are brand new. So some of our courses on My Trading Skills are completely free, so check them out, feel free, see how we teach, and if you need help with anything else, let me know. Big disclaimer here, what I'm doing here today is, or what will be doing here today, if you haven't seen this before, I am basically just showing you a practical application of what I firmly believe a novice trader should be able to do. It's a very basic trend following, price action trading without too many complicated indicators, complicated strategies. It's a very basic approach to trading, triggered by some news. There's a little bit of kind of news and economic data, a little bit of not too much fundamentals, mostly technicals, but that's basically what it is. So since we are talking about these are my experiences and opinions only, that's what I'm trying to say. Since we are talking about live trades, hi Kabogo, welcome. These are my live trades. Some of them were there since yesterday. For those of you who watched yesterday's session, you know I was long WTI crude, closed 1/3 at 105, and then yesterday I moved my stop. Sorry, not stop. I moved my. Actually, I did move my stop loss higher, but I also moved my limit order. I take profit expectation from initially 110 to 112, and I got filled at 112, so I was really happy with this trade. This was a stonking trade. This was absolutely amazing trade. Really happy with that. Got out at 112, happy with that, although the price went up higher. Brilliant. I was also long DAX, closed half and then other half with the stop loss. I was long Dow, closed half and then half. I did that during the session, and I was also long euro dollar. So I had two positions and I got stopped out at 103.95. So this was a losing trade. Looking at euro dollar right now, I should have held it, but hey, could have, would have, should have doesn't make a good trader. So I was stopped out, didn't get into that trade. Subsequently, what I've done is I went long Nasdaq at 12,236, 12,236. I'm also long DAX at 14,000, 14,004. I'll be closing these trades probably fairly soon, and I was short. I triggered short gold at 1820, and this is a losing trade at the moment. For those of you who watched yesterday's session, you saw me put a limit order, basically an order at that level, saying if I feel if gold goes to that level, I'm looking for a reversal. So I got filled on that level. I didn't trade at market. It was an order. It was a triggered by order, and I'm in this trade. That's a currently losing trade. Okay, so very quickly, this is where we are with the market. Dow Jones moving higher. This is DAX. DAX is also moving higher. I was looking for a breakout of this and a move higher into resistance. So this area here would be a potentially good area for partial take profit. Let me just show you what I mean by that. High, lower high, lower high, lower high. We are moving into that resistance now, and I feel that we could see a little bit of a consolidation.
3 minutes now. We're moving into 2.5 minutes until we get this US data. Industrial production month on month looking for 0.5%. Capacity utilization looking for 78.6%. And manufacturing production looking for 0.4%.
I started this session talking about the economic data.
In terms of industrial production, analysts note the balance between softer demand and the intensifying bottlenecks will factor into how quickly goods price inflation subsides over the coming quarters. In a sign, factory activity is shifting to a lower gear. The ISM new orders and production gauges in the March and April reports were the weakest since the spring 2020 lockdowns. A reminder, in March, industrial production increased for the third month in a row.
From the economic data, busy calendar for the US, we have retail sales data, which came in 0.9 versus 1% month on month. US core retail sales came in 0.6 versus 0.4, so much better number than anticipated. We also have industrial and manufacturing production data coming out, business inventories, and also housing market or housing data as well. So from the DAX point of view, I'm seeing this as a nice bullish breakout from the measured move point of view. I was explaining this yesterday. This was that green line, major support extended to the upside, gives us a take profit. So what I'll do now is, I won't be a hero. I will basically look to take some partial profits out of this trade and then look to reassess it. This can possibly trigger to the upside again. Okay, it can possibly trigger to the upside again. But what I'll do is, just to be on a safe side, I'm going to take a partial profit here and then assess if I see a breakout, a retest, and a push higher. Then another level of interest would be up here towards 14,300 or thereabout. Otherwise, if I see a loss of these lows, so we have a rising support trend line here, and this should be a blue.
10 seconds.
I'm gonna do that very quickly. If I see a dip lower, so something like this, a dip lower from here and then retest from underneath, that could possibly change my outlook and open the way for a deeper retracement.
Industrial production 1.1%, capacity utilization 79%, and manufacturing production 0.8%. So industrial production on the month stronger, 1.1% on estimate of 0.5, capacity utilization 79% on estimate of 78.6, and manufacturing production 0.8% on an estimate of 0.4%.
Happy with gold. My gold is a losing trade.
Does not mention monetary policy or the US economic outlook in prepared remarks.
Come on, go below, come on. I'll show you my gold in a second, but let's start with the DAX first. This is euro dollar, sorry, cable. This is euro dollar, dollar yen. This is Dow Jones into resistance as well, and then I'll talk to you about crude oil as well. So here we go. This is the DAX trade, a breakout So what I'll do at the moment is I will take partial profits on this trade. So this is a 15 minute. Let me show you this in an hour. You might see that as a better. So there is the entry. There was a stop. I don't have the limit as such, but what I'll do is I will take.
So you see US Treasury 5-year yield rises
partial
10
profits
basis
here.
points to 2.93%.
So I'll take 2 out of this 5 contracts, close that. I will also do this. I will move my stop at break even or above break even, locking in about 55 points in this trade. And then another level of interest here for the upside was at, if you remember, 14,000.
Rich Banks Olson says earlier, inflation deviations more serious.
And I'm going to put my limit order at 14,290, thereabout. So there is a setup now for the remainder of this trade. Really happy with it. Good timing for the entry, retest, fine, low, higher, low, higher, low, higher, low. I see this as a consolidation. It's a good time to take some partial profits, and I'm going to keep you updated on how I'm going to manage this position. If I see a loss of these lows down here around 14,140, I will probably close my position. I will not wait for all of that retracement, but I will probably close it before that happens, but just keeping you informed. Hi Raj, how are you? You're looking at anything, Raj, yourself? The other thing that I was telling you about was the trade on crude oil that's closed now. We saw that was the take profit at 112. This is moving higher, so really I wouldn't be surprised to see a bit of a consolidation around here again. Previous high, previous low, previous high. Would I enter long again? Probably, maybe around here if I get a chance. I'll assess it. It'll be triggered by probably something that might come out as a fundamental news more so than a technical one. But nicely uptrending market. There is no pattern here as such. It's only starting to form. Nothing that I can recognize, but keeping an eye on, let's say, these cluster of the lows here. So this would be of interest. $114 or thereabout. If I see a loss of that level, then potentially the price could come down here. Then the price would meet this rising trend line, and at that point I might expect to see a bit of a bounce from there. So that's a basic premise, very basic premise. I would not be shorting oil. I'll be probably looking to go long, but that's where I am with the crude oil. I have nothing open. My remainder of the position was closed at 112, 112. So I have nothing open in crude oil at the moment. I'm covering a lot today, very quickly, very quickly. So the other thing that I have currently open is I can see a few people are coming in, watching. Welcome. Mr. Nyogu, welcome. The other thing that I have open is Nasdaq. I am long Nasdaq, and I'll show you the reasons why I did that. And then I'm also short gold. Gold is currently a losing trade. So from the Nasdaq point of view, complete oversold bounce back. If you go and check this out, this is a textbook Morningstar reversal.
Decision to try and renegotiate the Northern Ireland Protocol says there's a basis for solutions on all of these issues. It says welcomes the UK's expressed a preference for a negotiated solution.
Nice consolidation and a breakout, and I was saying this here could be an area of interest. So you have these lows and these highs, which is where we're seeing a bit of a rejection now. Breakout above that level could open the way for the retest of 12,650. So this area is the first area of interest. And what I'll do is I will go and take some partial profits now, move the stop loss, readjust everything. So the widest point of consolidation extended to the upside. It's a textbook scenario. Most of the traders who are looking to trade, am I still okay? Yes, I am. Most of the people who are trading this as a price pattern breakout would likely be doing the same thing. Only if we see a breakout above here and a push higher, that could possibly change things and morph into something different. But so far, that's a logical level for some partial profit taking. These lows here are of interest, and then if they're lost, then these current lows down here come in place. So let me just readjust this. So that's the resistance. That's the support. Prevailing trend to the downside. This was a counter trend trade. Happy with it, really happy with it, and I am going to manage it right now. So
just under 10 minutes away from the bottom of the hour, the president of the Swiss National Bank set to speak. Jordan.
It's a losing trade. I'll show you that straight away. So just Nasdaq, the one that we were talking
Comment
about.
From the Riksbank's Olsen says 50 basis point hike is possible. Can't say though if it's on the table for June.
So a similar setup, consolidation here, and the breakout. Take profits is well above. So what I'll do is I will take partial profits again. Very similar, very similar setup that we had with DAX as well. I'm going to take 2 out of this 3, take that money off the table, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the stop at break even. This is a swing type trade. I'm going to let it run, see if it works out. If it does, it will be a good one. It could be a runner, because Nasdaq is seriously overextended to the downside. It could be choppy, but that's where I am with the Nasdaq. So happy with that. Keeping a partially open, so partially closed, partially open there as well. The last thing that I want to talk to you about is from the open positions point of view, before we start looking at some markets to analyze a few things, is gold. And the reason why we're talking about gold is we were talking about it yesterday, and you can't really see this. This is becoming quite messy here with too many lines and colors on it, but gold is downtrending, and this area here was an area of interest when we were doing the session yesterday, and the reason why it's of interest because it brings us to that multiple layers of evidence zone. So we have falling resistance trend line. Swing high to swing low, we have 61.8 fib retracement. And we also have a horizontal around 1820, 1821 or thereabout. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move that slightly higher, 1831. And what I was looking for, if you remember, we were down here somewhere. I was looking for an oversold rally into that level and then a rejection to the downside. So that's what I was looking for yesterday. And if you remember, I was saying this might happen while I'm asleep or if I'm talking. And what I've done is I actually went in and I placed a limit order. I've placed an order, short sell order on a system, and that order was triggered. And I'm in this trade at the moment. But it's a losing trade because basically what happened is it did get to this 1820, it started consolidating and then broke to the upside. Now this could be a breakout and a retest. This could be resistance, 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 resistance. Many people like myself were looking for a consolidation, sell off, but it didn't happen. Eventually it broke to the upside. And now this could be a breakout above the resistance, and this here could be a retest of that resistance as a newly found support, which would then give bulls an opportunity to see another leg higher. That's the kind of premise. But from the longer term point of view, this is clearly defined trend. Bears are still in control until, in my book at least, we don't see a breakout above 1845, 1850, and then possibly a retest from above as a newly found support, which could then trigger a massive short squeeze and a push towards 1900 and higher. But that's for another day. That's for another day. So let me just show you how I'm going to manage my position and what I'm going to do with this at the moment. So there is my gold. So that's a gold entry. So you can see it trend high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. I got filled here at 1820. Stop is 1850. I think it's high, and the limit order is down here towards 1750 or thereabout. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this running, but I will readjust my stop. I won't put it up here because I could get stopped out very quickly, but instead of having this much of the risk, I will reduce my risk down to 1840 1841 or thereabout. So I'm carrying about 20 points of risk at the moment on this trade, and I would like to see gold push lower and go below 1820. If that happens and I see a retest from underneath, that would incentivize me to move my stop loss even lower than locking in kind of more profits and so on. If I see a rally from here, green candle or bull's return here, massive buying pressure and so on, I could be looking to get out of this trade sooner. But the maximum amount of risk that I would carry at the moment is about 20 points, 21 points on this trade, just in the case if anything happens and we see a massive breakout while I'm talking about anything. That's where I am at the moment. Sorry, messages are coming up. Do you guys need anything else covered?
Just a reminder, there is a Q&A session with the Fed Harker as well. Still waiting for that to get underway.
Excellent. Okay. The other thing that I want to talk to you about as well very quickly is Dow. That's ahead of the US Open. I see this as a potentially very retest of a very significant level for Dow. We could see a push lower. So I could actually be tempted to go short around here somewhere for a scalp. I just want to see how this plays out. So the way I'm seeing this is, this here is our daily time frame. Oversold bounce back into falling resistance, and also cluster of the lows here, cluster of the lows. So if I go and show you this in a 4-hourly, there is a push higher into resistance. Now all of this can potentially become a nice rising wedge, and these type of patterns, if they're seen in clearly defined downtrends, have the ability to break to the downside. They do something like this. They dip below, then we could see a retest, and then you see aggressive selling to the downside, and that selling is normally equal to this many points, which brings you close to these previous lows. And I would also take the fib from here to here to give me the retracement as well. And if you're not familiar with what I'm doing here, this is not complicated. It's called Fibonacci retracements. Basically multiple layers pointing to same or similar, multiple reasons why certain level might become important. That's all it is. So far I'm just keeping an eye on it, but it could possibly develop into a short sell. If I see a push higher and a break above 32,780, 32,800, and then a retest of that level from above, then that would change my mind, potentially opening the way for the push higher towards 33,300, possibly even up here towards 34,000 as well. So a number of areas of interest for the Dow, but so far I have nothing open. I would be sitting in a potentially bearish camp here if I get a chance. Come on. see if there is anything there. Okay, I am now short.
Just taking a closer look at ECB pricing following some comments from officials today. This from IFR. They know ECB Hawk class not floated the possible larger hike, while the fellow Hawk ECB's Holzman recently suggested a potential June liftoff. IFR say for now these are tail risk scenarios to an overall outlook of one, where the ECB looks likely to hike at every meeting in the second half of the year. IFR says this does remain their central scenario, and market pricing has now come around to fully embracing such an outlook. Indeed, with the risk of 50 basis points now being debated, the curve has moved with such that 106.5 basis points of tightening now priced in between now and year end, as compared to 87.5 basis points at Friday's close.
Sorry, I'll show you what I did. I decided to go short here because much shorter term time frame, this looks like a really nice bearish engulfing. So there is 1, 2, 3 candles, 1, 2 up, and then bearish engulfing here, a little bit of a push lower, and now potentially we could see a little bit more to the downside. That's the basic premise. Very basic premise. Loss of these lows here. Let's see if that it's currently a losing trade. It's currently a losing trade, but I'll show you where I am with that. All I would be looking for is possibly a retest of these lows down here, 32,500, 490 or thereabout. Very short term. I might stop higher anyway, just in case. Come on, just a few more. 30, 40 points. Come on. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this very quickly. So taking 3 out of this is my call, taking half off, moving stop at break even, and I'm just gonna see stop too close. Okay, I'm gonna be stopped out, stop. Okay. See, I wasn't fast enough. So anyway, so there is a little bit of a risk, still a little bit of a risk on this trade. I should have just done it quicker. There we go. I'm out of this trade. Out of this trade completely. Okay. I didn't like it because when I moved the stop loss at break even, it was saying stop is too close anyway. So didn't like it. But out of this trade, scalp for a few points. Really happy with that. Really happy with that. So now let's see how other things are developing. Gold is still losing at the moment. Here, this is gold. Dow is doing well, Nasdaq is doing well, and now some of you are probably scratching your head saying, but why did you go short Dow and you're long Nasdaq? Well, you know, sometimes these correlations break, and you have markets that they're both equity indices, but they could move in a slightly different direction, or one is lagging behind the other, and so on. So hi, how are you? Are you looking at the Dow as well yourself? Is there anything of interest? Come on, gold, you wanna go low? Wow, 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 wow. Euro had a really nice breakout high. I'm thinking of this saying, I could have kept my long Euro, but I got stopped out. That push higher was based on some comments by ECB. ECB's not a 50 basis points rate hike should not be excluded if data in the next few months suggests that inflation is broadening and accumulating. He also feels that a 25 basis points rate hike in July is very realistic. So that's all pushing the euro higher. It's all pushing the euro higher. So positive for...
The Russian Justice Ministry has asked the Supreme Court to declare Ukraine's Azov a terrorist organization. That's Reuters via Interfax.
And then there was that announcement that UK might try and maybe not renegotiate, but make some amendments to the agreement they had with EU over Northern Ireland. So, hi Lisa, how are you? Welcome back. Welcome back. So let's talk about euro dollar quickly here. Euro dollar is downtrending. However, we could see a nice oversold bounce back. High, lower high, lower high, lower high. This is triggered by comments from European Central Bank that possibly rate hikes are on the cards. A nice level for resistance here, because this was support, 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 loss of support. Now it's newly found resistance. I'm not too brave to short it here, but it does represent a logical point of resistance. I was actually long euro dollar yesterday, so I was looking for this push higher, but maybe I was too early with that. So if we see a push higher, then potentially that could open the way for another leg higher towards 106, maybe even 107.80 or thereabout. Alternatively, we would need to see a very swift return here, nice rejection, and that could possibly open the way for another leg lower towards these lows down here at 104.80.
Comments through from UK Chancellor Sunak says the next few months will
Welcome
be
back,
difficult.
Lisa. Good to see that you're enjoying the travels. If you're looking for anything to be covered, let me know. I'll be more than happy to do so. So that's where we are with euro dollar. Just realizing the time. You're welcome. I'll keep your feel free. Now I don't like this what's happening now with Nasdaq. I think I'm gonna close my long Nasdaq very soon, because this is not working out according to the plan. This is not working out. I'm seeing this increased selling pressure here. I'm long Nasdaq. I've closed already partially this trade, and I also moved the stop loss at break even, if you remember. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move my stop loss another 123 points higher, and what I'll do is I will close most of it. I will close most of this trade to get it out, and so I'm really happy with that. I'm leaving only one contract, or £1, €1 per point, if you want to call it that way, if you're spread trading. I'm leaving one mini contract still running, and my stop is above the entry. So if it happens, I'll be stopped out with a profit. Happy with that, but I took 2 partial profits in this trade just in the case. Don't like the way these reversals are actually happening at the moment, and I want to be out of that trade as well. The only other thing that I'm actively managing, actually there are 2. I'm long DAX, but I'm also okay, gold is pushing lower. That's good. So let me show you my gold trade. I'm currently short gold, and this is still a loss-making trade. My gold trade is still losing trade, but this appears to be quite good now.
From the top of the hour and US data, the NAHB housing market index for
See,
May
hanging man
back to 75 from 77.
big shooting star forming
for
here.
March seen at one spot.
And if you don't know what it is, don't worry. It's not complicated. I'm not speaking Latin or anything like that. It's literally just the name of the patterns that these candles form, and these are the sellers who are active, and these are the buyers who are active, and these patterns usually tell us who is more dominant in this particular market. And the whole idea is once you can read them, you want to trade with the ones which are more dominant against the ones which are weaker player in the market at this point in time, and that increases the probabilities of you potentially being right. So that's the basic premise. That's the basic premise. Now let me show you my trade in gold. This is still a losing trade. I'm short from here. I'm short from 1820. I was suffering a little bit of a losing trade here. My stop loss was initially higher. This is where my stop is. I would like to see a dip below 1820 and then potentially a move lower, towards 1750. But these lows down here at 1780 would also be very appealing for profit taking. So I'm leaving it at the moment, but it's definitely a losing trade at the moment. Just keeping it running at the moment. I will be likely moving my stop slightly lower as well. Now the last thing that I want to talk to you about is I'm also currently long DAX, and for those of you who watched the session from the beginning, you know I took partial profits in DAX, and if you remember, I was saying this here is a sideways consolidation which has the tendency to break to the upside, but from the longer term point of view, high, lower high, lower high. If I do this, this is a magical 61.8 as well. So we have horizontal, we have trend line, and we also have a fib, all pointing to similar area of interest from the bearish point of view. So therefore anybody who's counter trend long would likely be looking to take some partial profits there. So what I'm going to do right now is looking at what's happening with Nasdaq and Dow. So the Nasdaq is selling off a bit, this is Dow, and so on. I'm going to readjust my position in the DAX. So I was saying I'll pay attention to these lows. So I'm coming to the end of my session here today. I'll be here for a while longer. I'm not going anywhere, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a very similar thing that I did with Nasdaq. So I'm going to say thank you, Mr. Market, and I'm going to take some more money out of this trade. So thank you, Mr. Market. Happy to pay myself, and this is reduced now to one contract.
Tax says if energy companies don't reinvest their profits soon and at a
and what I'm going to do is I'm going to move my stop higher. Okay, so I'm going to lock in another 96 points. It's a swing high here, and it's a little bit lower than the cluster of these lows, so that gives price a chance to work. Just in case if you're seeing flush lower and then a rally, I still want to be in this trade. If the price does go through, I want to be stopped out, and my stop losses also might take profit, and I'm happy with this. So I'm going to leave it running and look for something else. Now I'm looking at the Dow here saying, you muppet, why did you close so soon? I know it always happens. Okay guys, just realized the time. I've been talking to you for an hour. I'll be stopping the broadcast soon. This was fast and furious. We had plenty of triggers here today. It's 25 minutes since the US markets opened. Yet again, if you are a little bit confused with what I'm saying, it's not really complicated. Go and check out my trading skills for the education. Loads of our courses are completely free. Figure out if you how we teach, and if you're finding them beneficial, if they're the right level for you. And then if you need help with anything else, let me know. But I think that's a good starting point for anybody who is brand new, and it's free, absolutely free. This channel is also free on YouTube. I have no idea who you are unless you come in and say hi in the chat room. That's always nice. And if you're looking for a community, check out TraderCast. So thank you for watching, thank you for listening, stay safe, and I'm looking forward to a short trading week this week, and then I'll be gone for about a week. Thank you guys, stay safe, bye for now.
3 minutes till US data. NAHB housing market index seen dropping to 75 in May from 77. Business inventories for March seen at 1.9%.
Welcome, Rose. Welcome. Always.